540 WAUK, Milwaukee's real news and great conversation. And now on your FM dial at 100.3. Here's your Daily News Roundup.
With local news on 540 WAUK on 100.3 FM, I'm Stuart J. Waddles. A former Milwaukee police officer has pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor after he used department license plate reader technology to track his ex-girlfriend and her boyfriend. Prosecutors say Josue Alaya agreed to resign and take a lesser charge instead of facing a felony. Newly filed restraining order requests say the victims felt frightened and harassed by the searches. Sentencing has been pushed back until next month, and prosecutors plan to ask for fines. Home sales in the Milwaukee area rose again in May, but buyers are still facing a tight market. The Greater Milwaukee Association of Realtors says sales are up just over 6% from a year ago, while the average home price climbed 6.5%. It's now at $450,000. The realtors continue to say that the market has no shortage of homes and that buyers are competing for too few listings. A Medical College of Wisconsin student is facing federal charges in a case tied to alleged threats and vandalism during pro-Palestinian protests. Prosecutors say 28-year-old Ahmet Korkoya was part of a group that targeted officials and organizations in Michigan over the Israel-Hamas war. The indictment claims the group made threats, carried out property damage, and pushed institutions to cut ties with Israel. Korkoya has been released from custody and is expected to appear in federal court in Michigan. Supporters say his actions were political protests, while federal officials describe them as part of a criminal conspiracy. A new exhibit opening today in Milwaukee takes a closer look at how immigration has helped shape the city over time. The Milwaukee County Historical Society is debuting the We the People display. It's tied to the nation's 250th anniversary. It features artifacts, personal stories, and an interactive timeline connecting local history to national immigration policy. Organizers say the goal is to show how different communities have influenced Milwaukee's neighborhoods and culture. And that's the local update. It's all news all morning, 6 to 9 on 540 WAUK on 100.3 FM. News anytime at WAUKradio.com. I'm Stuart J. Waddles.
With Civic Media News, I'm Terry Miller. The Wisconsin Supreme Court is once again stepping into the fight over the state's congressional lines. The justices yesterday agreed to hear the appeal after a lower court dismissed the lawsuit. They gave no explanation for the decision. 2 conservative justices dissented, criticizing the court's move. The current map has helped give Republicans a 6-2 advantage in Wisconsin's congressional delegation. 3 Wisconsin dairy farmers are taking the Trump administration to court over a long-running federal program. The lawsuit targets the Dairy Checkoff, which collects fees from milk sales to fund research and promotion like the Got Milk campaign. The farmers argue those funds are instead backing environmental initiatives tied to reducing emissions. Backers of the program say it helps grow demand for dairy and benefits farmers overall. And Wisconsin Democrats meeting in Madison this weekend are considering resolutions that would abolish ICE. According to WisPolitics, the moves would also limit state cooperation with federal immigration agents and expand policies on issues like AI and transgender rights. Party leaders say the proposals respond to concerns about immigration enforcement and civil liberties. One resolution argues ICE was created out of fear and has been misused, while another calls for ending mass deportations and private detention. Republicans are pushing back, saying the ideas go too far and could make communities less safe. And a former lawyer for Donald Trump's 2020 campaign is asking a judge to move his criminal trial out of Madison. Jim Troupis is charged with 11 counts of forgery related to Wisconsin's false elector scheme. His attorneys argue heavy publicity has made it impossible to find an unbiased jury. Prosecutors say the case should move forward and that the charges stem from alleged efforts to submit false election documents. More news can be found at civicmedia.us.
It's the Brewers and the Phillies. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Baseball, the Brewers back home tonight to host the Philadelphia Phillies. Jacob Mizorowski getting the start. Christian Yelich on how the Miz got to 7-2 so far this season.
This year he's filled the zone up a lot and really limited the walks. And when you can prove that you're in the zone with that, then you get guys in swing mode and it becomes a really tough at-bat, obviously. He's throwing 103.
NFL Packers breaking down their mandatory minicamp. The Vets off until July 29th. What's next? Christian Watson.
I don't got much for you. I just taking the time to get away for a little bit. I'm training the whole time, but just relaxing for the most part. Yeah, and just spending time with the fam.
Wide receiver Bo Melton.
I'm about to go home, train with my brothers, take one trip, get your mind right before you go into a good in-depth season. I'm be in Jersey, so I'm gonna be on that beat for sure. You got to be on that beat. Hell yeah. That's it though.
That's the Packers' Bo Melton with Sports. I'm Mike Clemens.
I'm meteorologist Brandon Bormans. Drying out to wrap up the work week. Sunny skies to be expected with high temperatures in the lower 80s. For tonight, mostly clear skies with lows in the lower 60s. On Saturday, a mix of sun and clouds with a few showers and thunderstorms possible, highs in the mid to upper 80s.
That's your Milwaukee News Roundup from WAUK. Find more news anytime at WAUKradio.com/news. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts.